Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Smoke Sessions. This is the second take. Welcome. Sometimes problems. Small problems.
So we're actually rolling, yeah?
We're actually rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another
Oh, wait, I didn't do the claps. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Smoke Sessions. Third take. So, look, when you're in different environments, you just need the process.
I'm dealing with amateurs.
Oh. Be careful what you say before I kick you out my house.
Amateurs! I have to do everything around here. The tech! The lights! It's probably tech as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is tech as well. It is tech as well.
Oopsie.
How's a shisha?
Tremendous.
Lovely
Let me do the public service announcement while you smoke. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Smoke Sessions podcast. Today, we come to you in jovial spirits. We are joined by Tyler Wave.
Hello.
When I met Tyler in 2015, he was just a young man with small biceps and a dream that one day he could be a young man with bigger biceps. Tyler, please show your biceps. Now, some of you...
There's stuff underneath it. Have you felt these?
Huh?
It's so smooth as well.
Oh, he cuddles me every time we go to sleep together at night.
Oh, so the chokehold isn't working then? Shit.
Yeah. Now, some of you may be wondering, why, Tyler? Why do you look like the bully from Friday's illegitimate son? But what I would say in counter to that is that's not the look he's going for. He's looking for strong and stable and someone who can blow your daughter's back out.
Lord have mercy. Fuck.
But he will buy her a Nando's afterwards. Why, Tyler? Because you are a gentleman. You care about the women of Essex. You want them to not just fear you, but to respect you, but also to feel comfortable around you.
Did you come home from like prison or something? Do me a favor, let's put this.
Oh yeah, so basically what had happened, right, was I wanted to take the gym more seriously, so I decided just to firm a little gym case. Yeah, a little jail sentence, you know, just a little something like, you know, like you get one of them day prisons, right, where you get the TV in the room, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whack on the PS5 and that, you know, come and go as you please. So, quick little drink drive charge, speaking of which.
We do not condone
Fresh home.
any of this.
Fresh home, congratulations.
Don't drink and drive, kids. The results may not be the same.
Don't drink and drive, you might spill the drink.
Don't drink and eat in Muhsin's case.
Oh yeah, so I was eating a protein flapjack and I got chocolate all over myself.
Protein for what?
Gains, bro.
You go to gym now?
Yeah, man goes gym.
Go gym.
Feel that, big man. Feel that.
Do you know what's funny? For him, Jim is probably the guy that feeds him.
Probably.
Oh.
Hey, yo, hold tight, Jim. Stop feeding this kid. Chunky boy.
I like gym.
You really went a little bit over the limit, didn't you?
I'm on my way down though in weight.
We love it.
I've lost a significant amount of body fat.
To be fair, you do look slimmer.
I do strong and stable around the belly. I've been doing a lot of boxing. I've been swimming a lot. I've also been chasing pensioners in the high street for my high intensity cardio. I just go, rah, Brexit! And then I just... Alan, he's back again! Lock the doors! Alan just drives off.
Alright, cool. So what I'm hearing is you're on your way to getting ready for summer.
Yes.
What are you doing?
He was going gym, but then he gave up.
I didn't, you know, Oscar Slatis in the shoulder and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just stopped for a
Wait,
while.
you can't let me be the only WHAM one, because I swear to God, yeah.
I'm not trying to get whammed though. I'm just trying to...
Oh wait, no, you got a thing. You don't count.
Yeah,
you can't let
I'm
me
trying to
be
be
the only WHAM one, yeah, because you see me, yeah, if I take the vest off, these gal will see dairy milk chocolate and it's a long day.
Can you get wham?
Yeah. Exhibit A.
Yeah, but I feel like he probably has good genetics for it.
Exhibit
Ridiculously
A.
good
People from St. Lucia seem to have very good genetics from the small sample size
From
of
the
St.
jump.
Lucians I've met. They all seem to be doing very well.
Okay, look, put it this way. I went to a spa over the weekend and, you know, it's one of those situations where you see someone in the sauna that looks like a Greek god and I'm looking at this guy like, I have rounded shoulders. I am like, my leg fits into your arm like 4 times over. Something is wrong.
What did this guy look like?
He looks like a Greek god.
Describe him.
Long, flowy, blonde hair, blue eyes, like chiseled everywhere.
Brother, you met Zeus.
Do you love him?
No, I don't love him.
You don't love him?
No beard though.
No beard.
No beard. Fair.
I don't think God... does God have a beard?
Yeah, it's a big
Which one?
role. Fair question. You forget he studied the classics.
Is God a woman?
Yeah. Of course
Is
God's a
God
woman.
a man and a woman?
God is omnipresent.
Is God trans?
I mean, so everyone was created in this
Listen,
image.
you're asking for chaos.
Just asking questions.
God, it says in all his various texts that everyone was made in God's image. So yes, to
Yes.
all.
Yes.
True.
Then technically, God is gender fluid. God is gender fluid.
It goes back to God is omnipresent.
That's a big word. All I know about
Present.
Omnis is EastEnders Omnibus on Sundays. And
What
you
is
just
the
watch-
EastEnders omnibus? What is
So,
that?
do you remember EastEnders Omnibus?
Bro, those slapped so hard.
So the Omnibus episodes were like, if you missed EastEnders throughout the week, they just showed
It's
you
just
all
the
the
entire
EastEnders.
fucking length of it.
So you'll watch 4 hours of EastEnders on a
Just
Sunday.
there, yeah. Vibes.
Yeah, it was like EastEnders the movie every Sunday.
That's
They
dangerous.
stopped doing that, haven't they? Because I play it now.
No one watches EastEnders anymore.
I still watch it.
Really?
Do you?
it's something to do.
What's going on these days?
Tina just died. R.I.P. Tina.
Sorry,
My
Tina.
gal.
Sorry
Also,
to lose
by
you.
the way, what the fuck is her name? June Brown or whatever. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
What a queen.
R.I.P.
Fucking hell.
When I was sad, I was very sad when she passed away. I put the kettle on immediately to mourn her loss.
When I heard she died, I lit a blem. I don't even smoke like that. But I just had to because Dot smokes in it.
She had a terrible life in EastEnders.
Bro, there was one episode where she crashed her smart car, right? And it was the most disappointing crash I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, I remember
She
that.
literally... So she loses control of the car. It skirts off the road and just goes on some grass. And you just hear a horn going. It's like, bro, what happened? Like, she's literally hit nothing. But, you know, beep. It's like, have you died? Like, what's going on?
Or did it end the show straight off?
Yeah. It was just
You gotta
doof,
wait the whole
doof,
next
doof,
week.
doof. Yeah.
She was a very good actress.
Oh, no, she was great. And she was on TV for fucking decades.
Yeah. Yeah.
Decades. She was on TV since like. the
Did she do
60s,
anything
doing
else but-
EastEnders.
I don't
But
think she had time.
EastEnders.
I don't think she would have had the time to do anything else other than EastEnders.
And she was probably getting, because especially being on the TV show for that long, she must have been getting bread doing it too.
That's
Before
nuts.
EastEnders, yeah, probably. But she probably didn't have it. EastEnders, it's like, because they have to create the episodes so quickly, you're just constantly on set.
Yeah, because it is like a small town, right? They have the whole town set up in that.
I did
Like
a
the set is the whole town, right?
I did a
Yeah.
Yeah, it is right.
I did a show with Richard Blackwood the other week, minor flex, but you know that's
Who's
what we
Richard
do.
Oh,
Blackwood?
man, like Vincent.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Richard Blackwood. He's a very successful actor / comedian. Minor flex. It's what I do these days. Anyway,
comedian.
so from my understanding, he literally came down to do that show and had to go straight back up north because that's where they do Hollyoaks.
Oh no way! So he's in Hollyoaks as well.
Yeah.
Well, he's in Hollyoaks now. but
Basically,
like,
what happens here is
Interesting.
these,
I do not
these
watch
soap
TV.
dons, when they go from one soap, they just bounce to another one.
Just ding, ding,
Like,
ding,
Yeah, he
ding.
was in EastEnders, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
he was.
Yeah.
He was Vincent. There's like, who's the other one in EastEnders who got slapped with a jail sentence? Grey.
Was this in EastEnders? He got slapped with a jail sentence
Yeah. Because
because EastEnders isn't real life,
What?
or is it?
You're telling me all this time, yeah, that in East London there is an Albert Square E20? Oh my days, blood.
To be honest, there is. They've actually
There
built-
is.
No, yeah,
The whole last
Stratford,
year, yeah.
Stratford Westerfield is got given the postcode E20.
Really?
Yeah.
And they have built an Albert Square, so like they're fake houses, obviously, but
Brother,
there is
so-
an Albert Square where they film it in.
Fuck it, should we back it?
I'd love to go.
I'd love to see it.
I think they do tours. You can go.
But on a tour, I'm just trying to pour myself a pint in the Queen Vic and call it. a
Queen
day.
I
Vic.
think it's bad luck, to be honest. You know how many people have died in that pub?
Oh, you should definitely go.
It's a fully fledged pub, though, isn't it? Like, if it's a fully working pub, all the
know.
bells and whistles.
I mean, it definitely has all the spirits in that. Definitely.
All
I
of
don't know
that.
about the beer taps and that, but
Do you remember when
Yeah.
Stacey killed her abuser? What was his name?
fuck.
The old guy. What was his name?
You're testing my knowledge
She
here.
killed
I
him
know
with
exactly
the Queen
what
Vic
you're talking
thing, and for ages they didn't reveal who it was.
about. She got rust.
Yeah, and then Bradley took the die for her.
Bradley.
You're asking the wrong
Ayo,
person here.
R.I.P. Bradley, man.
Let me give you the lowdown. There was a guy called Bradley and there was a girl called Stacey, right? They were getting married, but then Stacey slept with Bradley's dad on the wedding day.
Max
Please,
Bradley.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they obviously split up, right? But then somehow 6 months later they ended up getting back together. Madness, right? Stacey then killed her rapist, who was a prominent character in EastEnders, right?
It's like Michael or
And
some
you know
shit.
the famous Christmas episodes.
Yeah.
So for 4 months, they were like, it was a whodunit for 4 months. And then they revealed in the Christmas episode that it was Stacey, because she was being abused by him. And then Bradley kind of set it up in a way to make it look like he did it. And then he jumped off a building and made it look like he slipped off the burning building, right? I've really messed up this explanation.
Oh, terrible.
So that way...
Just so that it just ends.
Yeah, so there's nothing to
So basically,
look into.
Stacey bust case and she lost her husband.
Stacey Buscase lost her husband, but also within all of that, banged her husband's dad.
Is
So
there
is
no...
she with her husband's dad now?
No. But there is no better way to assert dominance than clarting your husband's dad. Mm-hmm. No better way. Mm-hmm. You know who wears the trousers in that relationship.
Would you clout your son's girlfriend?
Would I clout my son's girlfriend?
Yeah, if he was just a horrible son.
Could never be me, because I would beat the ever-living shit out of my child. He would only be an angel. Bro, remember...
Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. Despite
last-
all the weird things that I say, that's not happening.
The last time I was here, I was out here talking about how my mom was whooping me, and you think I ain't gonna whoop my child?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Couple of elbows.
Yeah, just...
Do some
And you know what,
some
right?
of
I've been thinking, I don't think I would hit my kids.
That's fine.
Yeah, you can hit them for me.
I was
it's
gonna
fine.
say, just tag me in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, just tag me in, bro. There we go.
You weren't beaten as a child, were you?
I was.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, how do you think he ended up that
No,
good?
but you got minor beatings.
What do you mean?
They weren't full on. You didn't get full on beatings. Surely.
I got a couple backhands here and there.
Backhand.
Backhands.
Your parents will come with the sauce.
Backhands, front hands. I never got like. You know, everyone has that famous weapon. Like every household has a weapon. No, I did. I never got hit with the Indian one.
Do you know what? Yeah, the one thing I hate is about that whole weapon thing. The one thing I hated about that entire situation is, and it was all psychological warfare from the parents, right? Why is it after I've already know my ass is grass, innit? I already know you're about to mow the lawn, yeah. Like it's a long day. I know I'm about to get my ass kicked. Why are you making me grab the weapon? Why?
To get it for you to beat you.
Them ones, yeah. My mum used to hit
Go
me.
get the belt.
Go get the belt. What do
Go
you
get the pad.
mean, bloods? No. I can't find it. Hey yo, every person of color who's ever been beaten by like a belt or anything. Hey yo, you man can back me, right? Don't tell me I'm chatting was right now. Did you also have to grab the belt? Down in the comments. But anyway.
My mum had it on her equipment pack.
Yeah, she had it all to hand.
Wait.
All the time.
She'd have a slipper.
Hold on. I just need to process this real quick. So your mum had a utility belt.
Yeah. And she'd respawn in case I got a couple of good bangs.
So all I'm hearing from this is your mum just Batman.
Yeah. She didn't play games. My mum, she could have been in Major League Baseball. Incredible aim.
Oh
Incredible.
Yeah. Do you know what? I feel like that's the thing with parents. I feel like as they gain more experience being a parent, they're able to do more things to discipline their children.
Yeah.
I've once had my mum, and I kid you not, yeah, she dashed a slipper after me, and I thought, yeah, let me be slick and dodge the thing. I promise you, I don't know how she did it. She must be a fucking genius at physics, but she made this fucker bounce off a wall. No. I promise you. Like, I'm not even out here trying to chat shit to it for entertainment purposes. Because to this day, I'm still trying to make it make sense.
She knew the angles. She did Pythagoras' theorem in her head.
Only time I've ever seen Pythagoras be used in the real world.
Yes, and you weren't getting it in school, and then your mum threw that long shot, and then you were like, oh, I get it.
I've actually seen that.
Hypotenuse.
I've seen it again, right? So my mum's a primary school teacher, right? And so her thing is, and especially, another thing I've noticed is, especially black parents will go to the other black teachers and say, if my child is misbehaving, you have my full support in beating him.
No,
Right.
full well they can't.
Yeah. So my mum wouldn't beat a child yet, but I remember one time, yeah. So this was one of my classmates, his younger brother. So because he was my classmate, and obviously my mum was a teacher at the same school, both my mum and his mum got close in it. So the younger brother right now was still at school for, I don't know, he must have been about 5 years younger than us, right? I remember being at school with my mum because I must have had a day off from like college or whatever, or I had a day early or whatever. It was PE, and he was messing around, and my mum was like, "Alright, stop dicking around, or else like you're in trouble. Like I'll tell your mum right to." He was just out here running around, yeah, just doing nonsense and just being a menace. I saw my mum track this boy. He's running like sideways along the horizon. I see my mum track him and dash a basketball there, and he ran into it, pelted him in the head. I think like when it comes to ass whooping, I think my mum is a physics genius.
Mums develop powers as soon as their first child is born. Another thing is no sensitivity to heat. You know how my mum checks if oil is hot enough?
Does she put her hand in it?
She just touches it.
I've
My
seen,
grandma was like that.
I've seen my aunt do that as
With her
well. Yeah.
fingertips.
Do you want to know what I reckon? I reckon it's calluses from all the beatings.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like because they work so hard to like clean and stuff. Like if you touch my mum's
Asbestos
hands,
hands. There's no feeling.
They've got builder hands
Yeah.
because they've been raising kids. I see the change. You know what's mad, right? So my sisters, be my sisters their entire lives, right? Just like.
Oh, what?
Yeah, no way. Just been your
I
sisters,
know,
yeah?
you know what I'm talking about though. Like they've just been like girls.
Are you
right?
sure she?
Yeah,
like,
that's what
your
sisters
sister
are.
wasn't your brother beforehand?
Well, they may have been. You know, you never know these days, right? Right.
Gender change before you were born. I never told you.
As soon as they had kids, they became women.
Yeah.
Like they just grew up. Like when my sister had her first kid at 24, right? Overnight, she just became a mum.
Do you
Like,
reckon
it just
it's like
something switched?
It's like an instincts thing, like
Yes.
instinctual.
100%.
Like, you know, like the same way, like, let's say for example, if you look at a baby gazelle, for example, that fucker will prop out of his mum, yeah, and as soon as he's out, he knows how to be a gazelle.
Yeah.
He just starts walking.
Or a
and
giraffe.
shit, you know, giraffe is a good
Yeah.
one.
Just
Because
go-
a
they
giraffe,
just know what to
fall
do.
they
out.
just
Just
fall
like, see
out
ya.
and they just start walking and
Thank
shit.
you
It's
for
like,
your time.
rah, what's going on? You know, if that's the case, yo, humanity is soft. Do better.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
We have to be taught how to do everything.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do. And
Yeah.
if they don't teach you well, right, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Look at kids who are adopted, right? So like you'll see a kid who's adopted from like a terrible like background.
Be
into a
very
middle
careful.
Class.
We're not trying to get cancelled by orphans.
Who cares about orphans? I'm not.
Fuck.
My mum was an orphan. My mum's adopted, so I think I can speak about this. Okay, right? No, but I think. All right, let's use my mum example, right? So I can't get cancelled by the orphans.
Disclaimer.
We
We're
love
not
orphans.
involved. We're not involved.
Disclaimer: we love orphans. Yeah, or adopted, whatever. People.
Just come on.
You're digging
You
a
can't
hole.
call them. You can't call them orphans anymore. People of adoption. That's what you need to call them.
Fuck right off is that.
They're people of adoption. No, so basically, right? My mum was adopted, yeah, and let's say she wasn't. What would her life chances would have been if she wasn't adopted to what her life chances turned out to be when she was adopted by like fairly middle class, comfortable family? Where would her life? So it sparks that nature nurture debate, you know?
That's just a full gamble at that
Yeah.
point, because that's the thing, right? When you think about it, so in such situations, you can either be very lucky or it's just shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I got chucked out of school, yeah, and most.
I still found that hilarious.
Yeah, we won't go into the reasons on this podcast as to why. But when I got chucked out of school, let's say I didn't have great parents. What would my life have been if I didn't have parents who were willing to do everything to get me back on track? Most kids who get chucked out of school don't have parents who are willing to do all that stuff or have the resources to do that stuff.
Have you seen the latest? Do you watch Atlanta?
Sheesh me.
Nope.
In the latest season, there is an episode. Oh, what can I say? That could have gone very, very wrong. It's okay. In the latest episode, in the latest season, the first episode, second episode, I think, or it might be the first. There's a whole scene. The whole episode is about this kid and how he acts up, and then his mum basically throws him out because she thinks that he's called child services. Then he gets put in an adoption home or some kind of middle house, and then these people are trying to take him and the other kids that are there. In essence, they're trying to remove them from the earth. So they drive off a bridge and they kill themselves and and I think the other kids. But he gets out the back of the car and then he's left, but he always ends up going home. And his mum just takes him back. It's the maddest episode about white privilege.
Oh, thank you. That's what I was waiting for.
Well, at least that's what I thought it was.
Shit.
That's what
So many emotions. I went through so many emotions in that episode.
I know for a fact our editor's going to put question marks over my head.
I was puzzled. I was gone.
I was like, where is he going with this?
Hold on.
About white privilege.
I've got a story. No, there's nothing to do with killing yourself and white privilege and all them jazz here. But that little bit there where you said that the kid called his parents on like.
No, but he didn't. His teacher,
So he didn't?
No. His teacher at school did it, thinking she was doing something good for him.
All right.
And the whole time, this whole thing was about, Caucasian individuals, white people, were basically the whole way just being like, oh, we're helping you, we're helping you, just so that he could be driven off a bridge.
So what I'm hearing from this is the moral of the story, people, is mind your own fucking business.
Yeah.
In essence.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You know, people say white privilege, right? I think ethnic minority privilege is definitely a thing as well.
Yep.
I think we have more fun.
Do you know what it is? Yeah?
Genuinely, I think ethnic minorities can have more fun.
I think, especially, here's the thing, and I think, because we do have a bit of power to it, and it's in the sense of the race cards. We can just throw that out there.
It's a good time to be an ethnic minority these days.
I feel like...
Especially in entertainment, because people are starting to look for more perspectives.
Honest opinion, yeah. And I feel that black people can play that card more than I can. Yeah. Because for a long time, you've always been outspoken about all of the atrocities that have happened in life, in humanity, which is horrible.
I mean,
and my culture
where would
hasn't.
you like to begin? Because we've got like, what, 300 years of slavery as a basis.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's just the basis.
Exactly. And when you look at it as well, like I've had the same thing, but I don't shout about it. And I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's a bad thing or if that's just a South Asian thing. But a lot of the time you won't hear us, I say us South Asians, shouting the way that black people shout about it.
Yeah, I get that. Because especially you guys have been through a lot of, England just fucked you
Messed
guys.
up.
Absolutely fucked you guys.
Well, that's on you guys for not speaking out more.
No, it is. It is on us.
You should speak more.
It is. But what I don't get is why. Why haven't we always been doing that?
I think it's maybe a cultural thing about remaining humble and stuff like that.
Possibly.
And stuff like that.
But then
maybe.
the aggression comes out in other capacities.
You know who...
You end up fighting yourselves.
You know who really has a rough time?
Who?
It's still like open season to be racist towards gypsy people. No one cares.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's almost accepted, right? And you know what really annoyed me, right? This really annoyed me. You know the whole Jimmy Carr thing when he made the joke about gypsy people?
Yes.
Right? All right. Jimmy Carr says a lot of terrible things, yeah? And Jimmy Carr... So I work in stand-up comedy, so I know from very good source, Jimmy Carr is a lovely dude. Yeah. He's very well respected amongst comedians. He's very nice towards comedians. And by all purpose, I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about him. I've only heard positive stories about what he does and has done for people, right? Now, there's other comedians, yeah, who, because their public persona is just happy, I'm not going to name names because it's not fair, they're happy and jovial on camera. Everyone, the public think they're saints, when in reality, they're dog shit people. They're terrible people, right? But that's not seen. Because
there's camera and
he's
there's
playing
real
a
life.
character.
Yeah,
he's playing the
stage
evil
presence
character.
and- yeah, of course.
Right? And people judge him on the character. Anyway, suddenly, people care about gypsy rights. You people are hypocrites, right? You have never cared about gypsy people. You don't have any gypsy friends. You have actively avoided gypsies probably your entire life, right? You've never wanted to engage with them. You probably lock your car door when they walk past you. You probably ignore them when they ring your doorbell asking you if they want like some building work done. And now suddenly you're on Twitter acting like you care. What have you done for gypsy people? Ever.
Do you
Nothing.
know what? There's
You're
one
just
thing.
acting on social media.
One thing I love about the gypsy people in particular is just they're very hardworking people.
Very hardworking
I
people.
respect that highly. I respect it a lot because it's like the case of they know they need to earn their money. And obviously you can go down routes of crime and shit, but a lot of them are just hardworking, just...
Labour intensive as well.
They're clear-cut people and they just want to earn money. Don't get me wrong. There are some that are just absolute bastards, but you get that everywhere.
Every kind of
You
people.
get it everywhere. And you should not judge the entire basis of them
Yeah.
off of the minority of people that decide
Yes.
that they want to be cunts.
There's white Christians who are terrible people, but when white Christians are terrible people, no one attributes it then to them being white Christian. They just say they're terrible
just
people.
Yeah.
So why is it when there's a terrible person who happens to be a gypsy, they're a terrible person because they're a gypsy? It's not the case.
It's
We have gypsy friends because obviously where we went to uni,
Yeah.
and they're not terrible people. They're great people. Are they great people because they're gypsies? No,
No,
they're
just
great
great
people
people.
because they're great people.
I mean, but it's
They
still-
make you feel so at home.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where they are. They walk into a spot,
I was
and
in
it's home to them. It's home. It's like they just make the environment theirs.
So, with our uni friends, right? I went for lunch with a couple of my gypsy friends, yeah, in Staines. Now, on Sundays, gypsies tend to meet up in Staines
Oh, I
to go
know
out for
what
food and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
We get the same thing here at Lakeside.
Well, there you go,
Yeah.
Do you?
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was at that car park in the shopping centre a few hours earlier. Security was there, no problem, let me straight in, right? I turn up a few hours later in our friend who's a gypsy in his car. We get turned away. We ask them why we got turned away, and they said, "Oh, you're a group of young guys in a nice car. That's why." And I was like, "Well, that's bollocks, because I'm a young guy and I was here in a nice car 2 hours ago."
Yeah.
And there was no problem. But you saw them, you assumed, correctly, that they were gypsies,
You
and
didn't
you
let them
turned
in.
us away. So what's that about?
What did
And he
you
didn't have
do?
an answer for me.
What happened? Nothing.
Nothing.
Couldn't get in.
Couldn't get in. We had to park. You know what we had to do? We had to park somewhere else and walk.
Yeah, that's some old bullshit, man. But here's the thing, though. But that's another thing, right? So it's like the case of, alright, cool. So you stop me from parking here, but I'll just find somewhere else to park and just do whatever the fuck I was trying to do anyway. So what's the entire point of it in the first place? Why not, instead of judging people before they act, why don't we wait for them to act and then react? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're just
That
because
makes more sense.
And they'll go on. They'll do the basis of, oh, we want to nip it in the bud before it happens. But it's like you don't even know if it's going to happen
Yeah, exactly. So it's the case of you're preparing for the worst before it happens.
because you generalized.
Because it's like, don't get me wrong, I kind of understand it from their perspective, because obviously if shit were to kick off, then it's a big drama that they have to deal with.
Yeah, agreed.
But everyone
That's in
should
every
be
scenario, though.
entitled to at least enjoy their day.
Benefit of the doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you should not be able to, like, no person should be just judged solely based off who they are and be like, yeah, you can't come here. Like, that's not fair.
I've put a little thought into this, right? I think the reason why it's still open season to be racist towards gypsy people is because there hasn't been much change in the socio-economic status of gypsy people in this country in the last 30 years. Whereas in our backgrounds, there has been, right? So nowadays, there's more black people who are in local councils, they're MPs, they're lawyers, they're professional. Now, if you're a black person 40 years ago, living in the UK, you probably didn't have a lawyer uncle or stuff. It wasn't as common,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Whereas now, we have representation in higher offices, in higher social standings
I mean,
in
if you
society.
if you want an example of that, even my dad is a great example of that, because when he first, so before my dad was the person that he is today, his first job was a cleaning job with my grandmother.
Really?
He went from that to, and imagine, so this entire story is nuts, and this is why my dad will always be an inspiration for me, and is the reason why I feel like I'll be able to accomplish anything that I want as long as I apply myself to actually committing to that goal, right? So he was doing cleaning jobs. And so he was cleaning in this one bank. I can't remember the name of the bank. I think it was like UCO Bank or something like that. This was ages ago. This was like maybe the 70s or the 80s. Like, so he was like in his early 20s. And so he was doing cleaning jobs and with my grandmother. And my grandmother, while cleaning the bank, she got to know all the like managers, the directors and all of that kind of stuff. And she just asked, do you think you'd be able to find a job for my son? And they said, yeah, sure. Ask him to send us his CV, or tell him to give you his CV, and we'll see what we can do. So she goes back to my dad, asks for the CV. He initially gets annoyed because it's like, what do you want my CV for? Like, I'm not trying to do any more cleaning jobs or anything like that. She's like, no, just give me the CV. Gives her the CV. They see his CV and they're like, you know what? we'll give him a job. So he started off working in IT at that bank. No degree, no nothing. Like, he had his A-levels, or they were called O-levels back then. So he had his O-levels at the most, no degree. He went from that to working in IT, built his way up, and he is where he is now, global desktop architect at HSBC. So he's one of those ones, right, where it's the case of hard work does get you places. As much as it is, don't get me wrong, today it's all fucked. Today is who you know more than what you know. Like, nepotism is just killing it for everyone else who may be more intelligent, but because they don't have the connections, they're not going to get as far in life.
But it's also part of the game. You need to know, like, now, you need to be able to network. You need to be able to talk to people.
Networking
you need
is
to
so
have
crucial.
interpersonal
So
skills.
crucial.
It's so crucial.
Pretty much every good opportunity I've had in my life was through networking.
You know what?
Whether even I knew it was networking or not.
I'm gonna put this is directly to the audience here. Trust me, if you're that shy person who doesn't like to put themselves out there, trust me, put yourself out there. Meet as many people as you can. Get as many names. Get as many contacts. Knowing people now is so important, and it will get you in places that you never understand. Because you'll never imagine reaching these places.
You start by networking. Yeah. You start by talking to people. You build up those skills, and then I find it's like, okay, so how do I maintain those relationships?
Yeah.
Because once you've figured out how to talk to people and how to get on with people and be that person in a room that can adapt, or just be the guy that people gravitate to, it's then about, okay, so how do I maintain this relationship?
Yeah. Oh, 100.
Just so that we can have a relationship.
Yeah.
I don't want anything from you all the time, but it's just nice to have. Nice to spend time
100%.
with you.
I got onto my PhD through networking.
Yeah, there you go.
We were talking about this last week,
Yeah,
weren't we?
literally just showed up to the after drinks of a lecture, a keynote talk at the university. Somehow, PhD came out of it. Shut up, Alexa.
We have a fucking fourth person in here or something. Alexa, say hello.
Hi there.
Alright, cool. She's part of it now.
We're just going to sit here just... Oh,
Welcome to my house, guys. Full of tech.
Tyler is tech central. Everything is just synced up.
Bro.
The house, you know when they do those tutorials, like Apple does them or Amazon does them, they do the whole trailer for it. But you never see someone's house like that, someone's yard like that. Your house is.
Bro, my house, Alexa controls my heating. And my hot water.
Oh, so you just go, Alexa, turn on the hot water, she turns it on.
Don't say that too loud, because you might actually do it. Don't do that.
Do you know?
I don't pay bills, but my dad does.
Do you know when the first conception of FaceTime in Hollywood was?
Was it Star Trek?
That's an idea.
As an idea presented to the public.
Star Trek?
So,
No,
When?
earlier.
mad.
2001 Space Odyssey.
Yes, actually, yes.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
Because when they were in the spaceship, they had FaceTime. And people at the time were probably watching that going, oh, that's so...
Space
Sci-fi.
Odyssey was...
Do you want to know what's really mad about science fiction, especially back then, is all the technologies that they consider to be out of this world is what we're...
Exactly. Now, and it's even better than they could have conceived, because back then it was just on a computer. Look at this.
So here's the thing. So
Look at this.
I did my master's study in technology, right? Do you realize how nuts it is for a person who was in jail for, let's say, 20 years? Fuck 20 years. If you spend the last 10 years in jail...
Oh, you've missed so
you've
much.
missed so much.
Brother, people are paying for shit with their phones. The people that came out there 10 years ago, yeah, they'll probably come out of jail with their BlackBerry. BBM is dead, big man. Stop pinging people. It's gone.
I remember...
It's done.
I remember the first time I saw an iPhone.
Yeah,
my
2006.
Yeah, my uncle got one for my auntie for Christmas. And do you remember that app that everyone had when the iPhones came out where you could get the cat to say stuff? You'd say it and it'd say it.
Talking Tom.
And we were all amazed.
Talking Tom.
Now, if one of you guys got that app and were like, oh, say something, you'd be like...
Fuck right off. There.
You got
Grow
Snapchat.
up.
Yeah.
Snapchat does the same thing.
Yeah, literally. Snapchat lets it so you can say the things.
We've really come a long way in 10 years, in 5 years.
Bro.
It's terrifying. Imagine what it's going to be like in another 10 years.
You know what? When I went to India and I came back, I had that same feeling. I was like, wait, what? Everything's contactless now. Like everything. Because the tube beforehand...
There was no contactless for the tube, it was Oyster.
Yeah, it was Oyster. And then I came back and it was like you could pay with your phone.
You can't even pay with cash on buses anymore. They don't allow it.
Do you want to know what? Especially COVID has pushed contactless so hard. I don't carry cash.
I feel bad for old people. I really do.
Yeah.
Who haven't been able to keep up to date
keep
with
up.
stuff because life must be so complicated. My dad is in his late 60s, right? So he's not really tech savvy. And bear in mind, this man's worked in business for the last 30 years, but he's not tech savvy at all. I remember once he sat me down, right? Like it was like something like we were about to do a military operation. He was like, Muhsin, here's what I want to do. Okay. I have this document on my phone. I need to get it to my work computer so I can print it to give it to the neighbor. Is this possible today?
You don't know what? I just want to say one thing here. You see your dad, he's such a G. Your dad is such a character. He's amazing. Because especially the backstories you give your dad, being like,
it's so funny.
like a drug dealer and he's got hitman. You can believe it because he just carries that energy with him. And honestly,
Was in the army.
My dad got arrested in the army. Have I told you this?
What? How?
My dad...
I've heard this.
So my dad, he did compulsory military service in Cyprus, but he was trying to raise money to go to university because his family were broke, right? So what he realised is petrol stations are closed at night. So
Don't tell me he started stealing the petrol.
So no, what he did is, right, he struck a deal with a petrol station next to his military base, and he said, listen, I will sell petrol, just get in canisters, on the side of the road. It was illegal to do this, and I'll give you a percentage, right? So he stood on the side of a road, right? So he bought the petrol, he got the petrol during the day, right? And he'd stand on the side of the road and he'd sell petrol. However, he was sneaking out of his military service and he got caught a couple of times and they put him in army jail, right? What they didn't realise was that the head prison guard was his brother-in-law. So his brother-in-law would just let him out.
Right?
Right.
And he'd keep on doing
They'd
it.
watch TV, he'd go out, sell a bit more petrol,
Come back,
right?
spend the
Come
night.
back, and it's like, oh God, this is so terrible. He was having a better time in the jail than he was just because he didn't have to do his service.
Yeah, of course.
So he was just chilling in jail, watching stuff, drinking, playing games, selling petrol. And by doing that,
What a time.
he raised enough money to send himself to university in Turkey for 3 years. And he bought his dad a car with the leftovers.
Alright, so people, what I've gathered
Moral
from
of the
this,
story.
what I've gathered from this, people, is sometimes it's okay to break the law. Don't do it.
Don't do it. We don't condone that.
And even if your dad is a great man, it's still possible to raise a piece of shit.
You didn't do that, to be fair.
You're not a
You
piece
didn't
of
do
shit.
that.
You're not. You're not.
No, it's fine. He knows.
I know. I am. It's okay.
You're not.
I could never. If I was in my dad's position, that would have been my position. I'd just have been poor for the rest of my life. There would have been no
you know
attempt
what?
to get
The
out
older
of it.
generation was built different.
Yeah, that
Built
generation.
different.
Yeah.
They were just looking for a way out. Oh, he did all of this during war.
What war?
Cypriot War.
Ah.
So he did all of that.
Nuts.
So there's gunshots, and my dad's just there like, petrol. You're going to need petrol if you're going to get away from these guns. Petrol.
Yo, supply and demand. Business.
You know, my dad speaks fluent Greek, right? And I didn't know until I was 15.
Does he?
Yeah. And I came into his office, and he was just having a chat with a Greek guy, yeah? And I was like, Dad, you speak Greek? And he goes, yes. And
I was like, don't you?
and I was like, why didn't you teach me? And he goes, why would I? What? What a weird thing to
Yeah.
realize.
Until 15.
I just didn't know, because I'd never heard him speak Greek before. I never saw
mad.
him speaking to Greek people, and then he just speaks fluent. But it makes sense, because back then, if you lived in Cyprus,
You needed to know both.
you knew both. And after the war, everyone was a little bit salty, naturally.
So you picked one or the other.
So, so their mother tongue. So if you were Turkish Cypriot, you spoke Turkish. And
You're
you
Greek
dropped the
Cypriot.
Greek, and vice versa.
Can you speak Turkish?
Yeah. I can speak
He
Turkish.
speaks it at home. I pick up on certain things when they're talking about me.
Drop me a sentence.
Merhaba, nasılsınız? Ben Muhsin, senin adın ne?
Yes.
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 I said something really simple. I just said, my name is Muhsin, what's yours? My Turkish
I didn't hear Muhsin in that at all.
Yeah. Benim adım Muhsin.
Oh, Muhsin.
Ben Muhsin.
Muhsin. Yesilada.
No. Can you speak
Gujarati? No. Nah, I can't.
Yeah, Gujarati. That's what I was going to say.
What were you gonna say? Indian?
What are you Hindu?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Why? What do you think I was?
I don't know. I don't know.
He
Like,
said
I assumed-
okay,
I mean,
good,
the-
like
okay,
because I
This is-
assumed you were Hindu, but I wasn't sure when I
yeah,
asked.
fair.
It's complicated. Yeah, I am Hindu, and there are a lot of different ways of life in India. So you got Islam, you got Buddhism, you got Hinduism, you've got Sikhism, you've got
Christianity.
a huge amount of Christian contingencies. You've got Orthodox Christians,
Can you do RE in uni?
religious
I
studies.
Think so.
I think there's a
theological
diff-
studies. I think.
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Of all the people, you would know that.
I went to Catholic school.
There's a new course at Royal Holloway where we went called Islamic Studies, which is
Really?
pretty cool. Yeah.
We were. Oh, sorry, go on.
I would actually love to sit in a lecture.
Islamic studies.
Yeah, I would
It's a
love to sit in
really-
lecture.
I'd be intrigued. Yeah.
Islam's such an misunderstood religion.
I feel like the thing with Islam is especially because obviously with terrorism being involved, a lot of people then dismiss it as only ever being
Terrorism.
which is just a shame because
That's why we have
especially-
people like
it
Muhsin
is
to
a-
banish misinformation.
It is a beautiful religion and it's no different to Judaism or Christianity based on the fact that they're all Abrahamic
Yeah,
religions.
Abrahamic.
You know, there's more far-right extremist attacks in Europe and the United States
Oh, you like
than
you
there
like-
are
you like
Islamist
Islam.
extremist attacks.
Yeah.
But the media don't portray it like that.
Oh, so
How many-
basically,
yeah,
how
like-
it works is they do a color chart basically. So like your shades, you might be alright. You get any darker than that, and you come to our side,
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
terrorist. You know what I'm saying? It's long.
Yeah, like it's racialization, right? So if you're brown to a racist, you're a Muslim. They don't want to hear anything about it.
I don't remember the last time that happened to me, which is surprising. Maybe that's because I don't go out enough. It's probably because I don't go out enough.
I used to be called the P word, the Pakistani slut. I don't want to
Yeah.
say it. I'm trying to not say it. It's not great.
I thought you were saying pussy for a second.
No. I used to be when in primary school. They used to call me the P word, right? And at the-
Really?
yeah, and at the time, I didn't know what racism was yet because I was young, so I just thought they were mistaken. So I'd correct them. I'd be like, "No, I'm not. I'm actually from Cyprus," and they didn't care.
It's like I've faced.
I can see it.
I faced casual racism actually in my area here. Back when I moved here 10 years ago, maybe 11 years now, and it was subtle things. It wasn't anything bait.
Crossing the road and stuff.
Crossing the road, or I'd walk down the road. This is a true story, this one. I was walking down the road, just minding my business. And obviously, I was a kid who grew up in East London. So you got that sense of style, East London style. You're doing your trackies and all of this
Yep.
kind of thing, right? Hood up and that. And to be fair, it was a cold day. I don't like my head being cold. Hood up. So, so I'm just walking down the road, minding my own business. And then I'm walking towards this car. And I can hear the doors lock.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was like, and at the time, I just didn't make any, I didn't think of it because it was just like, okay, maybe, he just wanted to lock his doors. But then as I've gotten older and obviously you become wiser to the world.
Yeah.
And you think back at certain moments and you think, that could have been a little bit of racism there, you know? kind of
100%
thing.
it was.
And it was like, realistically, that person who locked their door who had more chance of robbing me than I would rob them.
100%.
This is very true.
I'm just not
They're the one
about
with the
that
car.
life.
They're the one with the car.
Yes, you could have hopped out your car and just dragged me into your boot or something. I don't know. You were more of a threat than I was.
And to that whole idea of grouping people together and racializing people and ethnocentralizing, I've made that word up, but I think it's a good word. Ethnocentralizing.
No centralized.
Centralizing people.
Ethno
Trademark.
centralizing.
Yes. That might actually already be a word, who knows?
You
right?
heard it here first.
But to a racist person,
Or second, depending.
to a racist person,
Yeah.
you are not from St. Lucia. Because you're from the Caribbean, to them, you're a Jamaican. And they don't care. They don't want to hear anything about it.
Please don't get me started because I will just burn my house down.
Yeah.
Because you see that shit there, it's like, I'll tell a
They don't
person,
care.
I'll tell a person, yeah, I'm from St. Lucia. Oh yeah, where's that? It's in the Caribbean. What, is it near Jamaica? Or is it near Barbados? There are only 2 islands. The amount of islands in the Caribbean, and every single one has its own
Are
beauty.
they? Are they?
No.
Geographically, they're not at all.
St. Lucia's here. Jamaica's, actually no. How close is Jamaica to St. Lucia? It's kind of up there-ish. It's with Barbados.
Where's the US in all of this?
The US is that way.
Okay.
So we're the Windward Islands. So we've got like St. Lucia, we got Martinique, those kind of islands, right? Not really anywhere near Jamaica like that for you to get it mixed up. But obviously, for the most part, people know Jamaica. And you know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt for the simple fact here that when you think about it in terms of like media,
They group it all into one.
you got Bob Marley, you got Usain Bolt and all of that, Barbados, you got Rihanna, and you know them things there. So I'll give them some leeway. Still pricks, but I'll give them some leeway. It is what it is. But I think it's a shame that people only ever think of the Caribbean and they think of St. Lucia, or they think, well, St. Lucia? No, they
think of Jamaica.
Y'all niggas don't know St. Lucia. Who am I lying?
They think of Jamaica.
They think of Jamaica, they think of Barbados. You know,
You'll be surprised how few people probably even know that the Caribbean has other countries in it other than Jamaica.
I've got
Genuinely,
one.
you'll be
So
surprised.
here's the thing, right? So if you want to talk about the Caribbean, yeah, I could just throw islands like Aruba.
I've heard of Aruba. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know
you're
much about
cultured.
it. Yeah, but
St. Vincent.
St. Vincent, St. Martin,
I know St. Lucia. I've heard of Aruba, and that's about it.
you got Haiti. And
Haiti's part of those islands.
See, no, but Haiti's a cheat code, yeah, because a lot of people know about Haiti because of that earthquake. So that
Because
would
of the
count.
earthquake, yep.
Before then, it was impressive. Now, not so much.
Is Antigua in the Caribbean? No, it's not.
Leave my house.
I don't know.
Where is Antigua?
In the Caribbean. Don't
Yeah,
ask me
there you
silly
go.
questions.
How would I know?
Antigua's in the Caribbean so much so, yeah. I remember back in the day that for certain flights, for you to get to St. Lucia, it would stop in Antigua first and then fly to St. Lucia.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be like British Airways, stop Antigua, you're chilling on the airport waiting for everyone to dip, and then you fly to the next place.
You get the little charter plane.
No, not even that. It's the same like British Airways plane,
okay.
but you're just sat there waiting for everyone who wanted to go to Antigua to get
Oh,
off.
so it's just a stop off.
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Never
Where
ask me silly
do
questions
they
again.
fit
No,
the
apologies.
runway in St. Lucia if the island is only a couple miles long?
St. Lucia is 30 miles long, so it's very much very small island.
Why
You can
are
fit
the
it that
island boys called island boys? They're from Florida.
Let's not be culturally insensitive because we don't know what their background is. Let's not do that.
I don't know where they're from.
Where are they from?
Hey, yo, island boys, if you ever see this, yeah,
Ask
give
Alexa.
us a shout.
Ask Alexa.
Alexa, where are the island boys from?
Here's something I found on the web. According to freedoms.com, the Island Boys are 20-year-old twin brothers from Florida named Frankie and Alex Venegas.
Frankie and Alex. Venegas. That sounds Italian.
That did absolutely fuck off to actually answer my question. Absolutely nothing. Hey, yo, Frankie and what was the other one?
Alex.
Alex, hit us up, man.
What are the chances of them being from the Caribbean if their name is Frankie
South
and
Florida.
Alex Venegas?
They're from South Florida.
Yeah. What's the heritage?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Right, Island Boys heritage. Promise you, they're probably just American. Maybe a hint of Mexican.
Is Island Boys like a phrase?
That's what they're called.
Boys.
Born in Florida.
Is that all it says?
Born in Florida.
Really? There's nothing else. Like
Cuban.
There we go.
Cuban. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Cuban.
Racist.
Parents are Cuban, apparently. Frankie and Alex Venegas. Single parent homes. Father died of a heart attack in 2007. Difficult childhood and adolescence. Problematic behavior. Parents are Cuban. Not sure why they put
problematic
that.
behaviour
I'm not
is
sure
still
why
relevant
that's in
today.
there as well.
Their behaviour is still problematic. They're always trying to fight people on TikTok and stuff. Angry. They've got a third island boy now. Have you seen this?
Third one.
Boys, I've been trying
They're
to
recruited.
make it.
They're
How
expanding.
do I sign up? I'm an island boy.
You gotta get the tats.
I'm technically an island boy.
I'm sorry, yeah, but if I ever had to like tattoo my face or some shit to get clout, I'd rather just be not known.
I'm not sure I could do that.
Once you've got a tattoo in your face, you have essentially said, I am no longer looking for a job, mainstream job within society.
Yes.
Yeah, you've just said, nah, it's not for me.
That's like fun fact. So this is actually what Post Malone did. He started tattooing his face so that he could focus on music.
So he
This
wouldn't
is supposedly a quote directly from Post Malone where he said that he covered himself in tattoos
reverse psychology.
so that there wasn't avenues to do anything else.
So he had to do. He had to win
he
at
had
that.
to make it in music because realistically, as an employer, would you hire someone who had face tattoos?
I don't know, but when I do hire someone, I'll let you know.
You know, at 1 Minute Smoke, I came out to Stone Cold Steve Austin, yeah?
Yeah.
You know who I saw do that first? Post Malone did it at Wireless Festival, and I remember watching that. I was like 18, 19 at the time, and I was like, that's cool.
Oh, like you see, Post Malone, he's
a cool dude.
He's such a cool dude, and especially like the way he carries himself. He seems like one of the most humble people out there.
You know what his real name is?
Austin Malone Post or something. Austin Post Malone or something.
Oh,
Something
really?
Like that. No, it's Austin Malone. It's Austin.
His name's Austin.
His name's Austin.
Austin's a pretty nice name.
So Austin came out to Steve Austin. Makes sense. See, now that makes sense.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time.
Now that makes sense.
Thank you for your
I mean,
time.
you can be a fan, but then obviously he's got the little background connection.
My girlfriend got a cat, and she named it Katsu. Which I think is a
That is amazing.
ingenious name.
That is great chat.
Ingenious.
I
That
don't like
is
cats.
actually sick.
I don't like cats. I'm not a fan of cats.
Well,
I'm not-
dog person.
Just get on that.
I'm not a fan of cats, but I like this cat. But I'm its stepdad, so
You ain't got a choice,
yeah, I've gotta love
really
it.
got
Yeah.
it.
It's in
I
the
just gotta
family,
like it. What type of cat is it?
Katsu is a great name.
Great name for a
That
cat.
is a great name.
Yeah.
Katsu. Hey, Katsu, come here.
You mad?
They'll whip you up a nice Katsu curry.
Yeah. Great name for a cat.
Yeah. Awkward when you go Wagamama's and you ask for the
Katsu curry. You bring the cat as well.
Why are you rassing your cat, big man? What's going on?
I posted a katsu curry on my story, right?
You tag the
A
cat.
week later, my missus responded to saying this just feels wrong now. Feels like you're eating my cat.
I won't lie, that's mad disrespectful.
Just bring the
Yeah,
cat along.
disrespectful.
Bring the cat along. You'll enjoy it as well. Like a mama takes care.
She's buying a
takes
stroller
care
for the cat.
a stroller for the cat.
Okay, now we've got.
It's too far.
I
Muhsin,
think
you having
it's great.
kids?
I think it's great.
You
I
having
think
kids?
I think it's a brilliant idea.
Lord
Because it's a
help
house cat, but I also feel like the
Lord
cat
help
should
you.
see the world a little bit.
Do you know what? Yeah, the stroller's too far, but you know that man that put the cat in the backpack with the see-through backpack? I find that hilarious.
How does a cat breathe?
There's holes in the backpack.
Oh, is there?
They make sure. Don't worry. There's no RSPCA.
I like the ones where you see the dog and it's just like flopped in the back and it's just like, what's up, dude?
I would really love to have a dog. Really love to have a dog, but I travel too much.
I had a dog, R.I.P.
Sunny,
Sunny.
man.
I never got the pleasure of meeting Sonny.
You
Sunny
never
was a-
met? No.
You've met Sunny.
You've met
Oh
Sunny.
no, I did meet Sonny. I did meet Sonny.
Yeah, because we went. There was a barbecue
Barbecue.
post.
One of the last
Summer
ones,
Hall.
wasn't it?
Sonny was a good man.
Sunny. Don't lie.
His breath stank.
No. There was the other side of Sunny, but for
Yeah,
reasons.
Sonny also had a dark side to him.
Yeah,
Did he?
Yeah.
he did.
He would sexually assault human beings and
Oh,
other
so you're
dogs.
just gonna bait out your dead dog like that?
Sorry, Sonny, you did it. So, but Sonny didn't care.
Sonny would just hump a leg if he wanted to.
He'd look you in the eyes while he was doing it as well.
It was just to assert dominance. Like you could be there, just minding your business, and then you just feel something just rub up on you, and you're like, "Oh, Sonny must be there." Then you look down, it's like, "Yo, this dog is clotting my leg."
And you can't get him off because he'd wrap his legs really around it. Yeah, so
He had
there's
technique.
Yeah.
The smallest dog, but in his head, he was the biggest dog, and that's all that mattered. R.I.P. My guy.
What a good dude. Got run over.
Did he actually?
Yeah, got run over.
Fuck.
Well, he got hit by a car, not run over,
How do
which
you
is
get
a
hit by
little
a
bit
car?
better. So my mum's friend was reversing on our drive. Didn't see our dog, bumped him. The dog is now dead. Dead is dog.
That's got.
Deadeth of the dog off.
Deadest dog.
I remember I was burying him, right?
Did you
R.I.P.
cry?
Yeah, cried like a bitch, right? And just the type of guy my dad is, I was burying him and I moved one of my dad's like plants to make room for the grave. My dad came like switches. Switched.
Did you switch on him for
Huh?
switching?
I just looked at him like, how are you a real human being? He's like, you move the bloody plants!
Oh my god.
I'm trying to do a funeral.
I can just imagine.
Full on burial
I
ceremony.
can just imagine Donnie's got tears in his eyes and his daddy just got
Turn around.
mad.
And then, instead of helping me dig the grave, he then took one of my equipments to replant.
Instead of helping.
Yeah. He just did. He was like, I'm going to do my own little project on the side.
To be fair, it is his house.
Maybe that he just wanted to be with you while you were going through the motions. Of
Yeah. So funny.
I can't
so
believe
funny.
that. I cannot believe that.
So
It's
funny that he did
hilarious.
that.
I can imagine him doing it. That's the thing.
My dad locked me out
I
of
can
the house the
imagine
other
doing
day,
it.
yeah? And I was like, why did you lock me at the house? And he goes, well, why weren't you home? And I was like, why did you lock the door?
He raises a fair point though.
Why weren't I home?
It is his door.
You knew I wasn't home, so you just decided checking in's done. I miss
I always
checking.
say sorry when I lock the door. It's just a natural instinct to lock the door.
What do you mean you always say sorry?
Like if my mum and dad come home and the door's locked, and like, oh, they're standing outside, and they're like, well, why is the door locked? I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just instinct. You tell me to lock the door, I lock the door.
You guys don't live in the suburbs. You see me, the door don't get locked until everyone's yard. I could be out till 3 a.m, the door don't get locked.
See, that's nice. It's a nice place to be.
My car door don't... I've left my car unlocked so many times, accidentally.
Do you want to give your postcode?
Basically, it's TW200EX.
Yeah, go there.
Yeah.
That's real Holloway.
Why are you paying them?
I'm thinking because mine was 9RH at real Holloway.
They're gonna turn up and they're like, this guy lives in the castle.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we up. What you said?